All issues fixed. I think I finally have it. Maybe no more disconnects. Maybe the sound levels are correct. Let me go ahead and continue building my playlist. Closing time, relaxing. No. I like this sort of retro synth wave. Retro synth wave is what I like. Free vaporwave. Love it. It's got the Terminator. Dead mouse. Oh, dead mouse. Okay. Here we go. So, I am going to be working on the Derf class buoy tender today, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. This is an old design. Derf class tender has been operational in Starfleet for more than 25 years. When it entered service, stardate 19807, which is about around the 4 years war era. The Derf class marked a new concept in navigational beacon repair. Basically all it does is repair buoys, and by repairing buoys it maintains the warp lanes throughout Federation space. Very important because it's not easy to navigate through thousands and thousands of star systems and nebula. If you've ever played Elite Dangerous, you know that. So having buoys is really nice. So here we go. I've already got the saucer ready. As you can see, I'm cheating a little bit. The hull is very similar to a Larson hull, but I'm going to be making some changes. Basically all I did was import a Larson hull. We're going to try something. We're going to try something. Let's go to live chat. Okay, so hopefully the overheating issues are taken care of. I don't know that for sure, but we'll see. Alright, continue building the playlist. I like this one. Retro playlist. Okay. Obviously the first thing I need... Oh, audio jungle bullshit. You know what? I can do this later. Let me just get some live music so I can test this. Interruptions are no good. Interruptions are no good. Hopefully nobody is watching this embarrassing... Zero watching, actually. Just me is watching, which is good. Alright, this will work. I'm watching a live stream while doing a live stream. How about that? Alright. Alright, so obviously I need to make some modifications to the hull to get this right. As you can see by the top view, the hull is pretty different than the Larson hull. I believe what I'm going to do... Let me go ahead and ungroup this so I can work with it. I believe what I'm going to do is collapse this F hull together. I'm going to be retexturing the entire thing anyway, so alright, so let's go to the top. Let's first split it in half. Let me see, default shading, does it give me... No, I don't need facets. I want to see edged faces is what I want to do. And yeah, there we go. Edged faces. Okay, good. Okay. Good. Alright. Now, I'm going to work with just half of this because this is what we call an editable poly, which means I can work with each facet of it individually. In this case, the polygons. And I'm going to go ahead and eliminate half of that because later on I can mirror this back over. Now let's make it transparent. Have a look at the top view. Unlike the Larson, the Derf doesn't have this piece that flares outward. I should be able to easily fix that by just taking these two vertices right here and pulling them in. Actually, correction. Anything, as I look at this, no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull them in. And I'm going to pull this one down here out a bit. Alright, so let me go ahead and pull them in. I'm going to pull them in to a particular point. So let's go, that's out, this is in. Let's go with 30. Yep, I'm going to make it 30, negative 30 on the x-plane, which means I can grab this and also align it so that it is also negative 30. That way I'm making a nice straight edge here. Well, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, do you like that? Okay, here we go. Now that looks good, but I have a little bit of a gap there. A little bit of a gap there, that's alright. It's alright. It just means I probably need to take all of these polys right here and pull them in together to this point. I'm also going to put a little bit of a rotation on them so that they fit this saucer virtually seamlessly. I can do that. Actually, I don't want to rotate it. Sometimes that can lead to funky results. But what I can do is take these edges here, these bottom edges, and just bring them in like... Oh, those aren't edges. Let's go 2. And bring them in just like so. Yes, isn't that beautiful? Okay, isn't that nice? So now we have a nice sort of tapered edge here. That looks pretty good. I like that. Alright, now we need to do something about this. If we look at the top view, so this is very different than what they want to do with the Larson. First off, this aft section of the hull is much shorter. I should be able to take all these vertices here. Oh, except for those ones. I'm going to alt select those and kind of line it up. Right? Now, on the Derf, this section doesn't exist at all. So, perhaps I should completely eliminate it. There we go. And it doesn't have the extra impulse drives like I put on the Larson. So, I will get rid of these. Oh, I cannot. Let's come out of poly editing mode and delete that, delete that. There is already an impulse drive on the Derf. Now, there's something else here. Let me have a look at the side view. Clearly we need to come way far down with all of these. all of this needs to be down here somewhere, according to the side view. Unless I want to move the side view up. But I don't think I will. And also there's a big section of the hall here. Don't know if that... Yeah, there's a big ass dome. But it looks to me as if this section is going to connect to the entire saucer. And if that is the case, it looks like there's actually two. There's two sections. There's a section here that is planar, and then there's a section below it, like a lower hull that connects to the saucer, which is pretty cool. And that must be where they work on the buoys and such. Oddly enough, though, I'm not sure if that's really reflected in the top view, so I'm going to conclude that that bottom section is more like a pontoon that flares out towards the back. So something like this. I see I need to have some cleanup I need to do here. Whoa. Let me just go ahead and do some cleanup. Clean this mess up right here. Let's see. Some leftover bitsies that I don't need. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Probably don't need that. Alright, now I believe I can work with this. I could do it the easy way and quick slice the whole thing. Oh, first I need to move it down, so let's do that. Let's get all of these things and move them down to match. Why am I not able to? Oh. Move them down to match the reference plane. There we go. That's much better. Okay, good. Now, this hull here. I'm going to make some changes. You notice that the Larson model had it all over here, all sort of tapered along the edge here. But for the Derf, I'm going to pretty much align it with this point. All these vertices are, you know, kind of matching the saucer section. I'm going to change that with the Derf. We're going to bring them all to match this vertice right here, which is at what? This is at Y -27. That'll work. Let's bring them all to Y -27. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. This one. Good. This one. The same. I just copied and pasted the Y coordinates so that I can move these vertices. Alright, the reason I want to do that is because I will be taking a section from here and extruding it out. So here and here. Let's see, whoa. Hide and select it. I see what I'm doing here. Alright, so Alright, a couple of things. I think I want to move this over so that I have plenty of room to work with. Plenty of room to flare it or do what I want to do with it. And then what I'm going to do is take the polys from this point and extrude them down. Alright. And we want it to match what we see on the reference. Ah, now notice something. We can just get rid of a lot of these. I think I'm going to make it easy on myself and do it with a quick slice, because this right here, a lot of this doesn't exist. And this pretty much is supposed to align exactly with the saucer. This is not an exact science, but I will be happy to line this up with the bottom of the saucer section, and then I will be happy to remove some of this excess, but it doesn't really want to remove it in the way I thought it would. So what I'm going to do is solve that problem with a quick slice. Where's my quick slice? Quick slice, quick slice, quick slice. I'm still getting to know 3D Studio Max 2019, so everything is not exactly where I need it to be, but there it is. Okay, so I'm going to quick slice it, which basically means add an edge or a cut, and if I hopefully this will do it to where I can go at a perfectly 90-degree angle. Something like that. Right. Okay, now. Nope, no more quick slice. Okay. No. No more quick slice. Alright. Now, let's see if I can... I can now remove that. Alright, now let's see what we're looking at. Okay, now we have an aft section to work with, but I'm not 100% satisfied with it, because as you can see, it's not really going to align with the saucer section. I almost get the impression that this is a very thin part of the hull, and it's barely visible. So what we have to, according to the front view, it almost disappears behind the saucer. So that means we need to make some major modifications to make this look right. I mean, this could be, we could make this a curve all the way around. Possibly a curve all the way around. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do it that way. Alright, is anybody watching? Let me check and see if anybody's watching. Only me. Good. Because this is a test run, and I'll be working on this until 12:30. Well, whether it's a curve or not is irrelevant. What I need to be able to do is hide this, and obviously this deck here is peeking through, so I have no problem with sort of hiding this section as well by moving this vertex up. Need to go 1 for vertices. And move that up. And I can move this vertex up just a bit. Not too much. I should move this entire edge up, in fact. I suppose I could cut it and do it that way, but that's alright. This works. Alright, so now it's getting a little complicated. But clearly there's a bottom section. Maybe this bottom section goes all the way, because there's no back view for this baby. So maybe this bottom section here can go all the way across. And that is how, and this tapers off and this goes across, right? So that would kind of make sense, right? And this goes way in. So let me have a look here. Maybe, okay, number 4. A lot of times it's easier to figure out a model if you have a complete, let me just bring that to 0, x 0, center it, alright? And then here, like, why not take all of this, let me hide the rest so I can see what I'm working with. Why not take everything here, meaning we take all of the vertices along here and move them in behind the saucer. Move them in quite a bit. I don't see any reason why I can't do that. Let's go to vertex. I want to make sure I don't select anything bad. To do that, let's go to the front. Alright. Now back to perspective so you can see what's going on. Alright, let's go ahead and unhide all. Let's move it all back this way. Hey. Oh, something's not right. Got a missing piece there. That's alright. Okay. Alright. So what my intent is to pretty much hide everything. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. Hide it all behind here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so these edges. Alright, and maybe I can pull this off. This vertex, this pesky vertex, this is what happens when you cut things. This pesky vertex here is causing me problems. As you can see, I don't have a very clean model here, but I'll go to vertex mode so I can get all of it. So I'm going to grab this, this, and might as well grab that, and we're going to move it here. I might have some cleanup to do here. I need to even all this out. This isn't very smooth. There's a reason why I did it that way, but I won't get into that now. Okay, so I think that's pretty much got it. What I want to do, I could make this curved, you know, I could make this whole thing curved down and around. Kind of give it a curved section to work with, but I don't know if that's necessary. But I will say that this, in spite of the side view, their saucer is a little deeper than mine. I don't think this is lining up quite the same way. But that's okay. Let me see what I can do with it. I just wonder if I can make this into a curve or if I should be more simplistic. I'm going to go with simplistic. So I won't make it a curve. Alright. So let's bring this in a little bit. Let's see what happens if we bring the entire poly section here and here up a little bit. Because I need to hide it behind the bottom of this saucer, and that pretty much has it. Okay, good. Alright. Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Now, what we need to do is mirror this and see what it looks like. So we'll go get rid of that. Now we're going to mirror this. See what it looks like from the bottom. This might work out just the way I'd hoped. I always thought this might have been a pontoon type thing, but maybe not if we're going by the front view. Okay, we're going to mirror an instance. Later we'll join them together. Ignore that texture map there. We're not even going to use that. We're going to use something else. Clearly this is not completely centered. Somehow or another, these edges are not. Let's see if, let me see what their position is. Yeah. The X axis is not, and now, uh-oh. Now it still isn't. How did that happen? I suspect that the entire object is not positioned correctly. We'll see. Let's come out. Now, let's go with the original. Alright, and let's go ahead. Yeah, it's not. Okay, now that's at 0. Zoom out and check this. That still looks fine. I don't mind having a piece there. I really don't. That could be kind of fun. But first, let me just make sure that this will snap to the 0 axis. This is actually lining up on the saucer quite nicely. Alright, so this can now go to 0, I hope, and close this gap. Ah! Still not right. My positioning is off somehow. That's at 0. That one's not. Boom. Gonna do a render. That's an interesting effect. Interesting unintended effect there on the texture. Okay, I think I've closed the gap. I think that is looking better. Alright, now I suspect, I'm not 100% sure, but I suspect this is all shuttle bay, where they do the work on the buoys, and they do tender stuff. And perhaps these two sections here is what holds the tractor beams and all that. Let me just, interesting also, the pylons, they come all the way up into the saucer. It's a little bit unusual. Let me look at the top view again. It's a little bit unusual, but not unheard of. How are we doing anyway? Yep, no one's watching, just me. That's exactly the way I want it for now, so that I can... I think maybe this needs to be moved up a bit. You can see my hair. I'm considering dyeing it blue. Alright, good. This is somewhat hard work, but it's necessary. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn these back into a color I can see. Now, obviously this aft hull needs a shuttle bay. also happen to believe that these edges, you know what, maybe I can just get rid of this extra edge altogether. Nah, I need to leave it. But this here is the bane of my existence. This is messy. I don't like it. Me no like it. Me no like it. Because if you look at it, vertex, we got this funky vertex right here, and it's a triangle. Triangles are no good. What you want is quads. So here's my solution to make this cleaner. Let's get rid of this. Let's put insert a vertex right here somewhere. Go to the edge level, and I need to insert a vertex. Actually, I don't know if that'll do what I need to do. I'm a little bit... Yeah, okay, well, to do that, I'm going to have to get rid of this entire poly right here. Fine. Alright. If you want to do that, that's fine. Alright, and then I'm going to take this edge. It may seem like I've lost work, but I haven't. Because all I have to do is now take this edge and this edge and go shift, move, put it at 0. Seems like there are some problems. Make sure this is at 0. Good. This one at 0. And something else that needs to go to 0. Up here. Oh, I might have fucked something up. But maybe not. Okay, yeah. So this one needs to go to 0. Boom! Alright, so that's... Oh, wait a minute. Something just disappeared on me. So if we look at this, now we have an extra vertex we probably don't need. I think we can just target weld it. Keep things nice and clean. Alright. At least to me, you're at 0. Is now. Are there still 2 vertexes? They're not. Okay, good. Control Z back to that. 0. Okay. That should give me what I want. Now we have another triangle here, but that's okay. All of this isn't going to be seen. In fact, I need to put some walls in there soon. Now this is a little bit funky. Let me see if I can make... This probably needs to come down because we've got a problem here. So this one on the Z-plane is at -5. Let's make this cleaner. Let's go ahead and match that. See, what I'm doing is kind of fixing another model at the same time. So that's why this is, all this stuff has to be done. This is what happens when you do shortcuts. You find things that are incorrectly built. Something seems strange over here. Let's have a look. You can see a crease there, telling me the tries are not rendering correctly. Let's hide everything else and see what we got going on. Well, those are at a different position. I think I'm going to let that lay. Render and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think we're okay. Now this texture is going to look a lot better once I get into remapping the textures on here, which will come. Okay. Am I still streaming? Let's see how my CPU is doing. Sounds like it's under a lot of pressure, but no, it's holding. It's pretty much just like doing a game. Alright, I think we're moving right along here. Moving right along. Okay, so we've got the bottom hull pretty much fleshed out now. Obviously we need to close it up, which shouldn't be a problem. This part needs to be closed. I think I can do that. This bottom plane is getting in the way, so I'm gonna hide it. Hi, boom. Okay, now we can see what the hell is going on here. And this is getting complicated, but that's okay. What I need to do to close this up, all I really need to do is take these edges here. Oh, I've lost the stream. I'm still online, it would seem. All I need to do is take these edges right here and extrude them over. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go 2 for edges. I'm going to grab this one. There's only one. And I'm going to shift that over. And what I'm going to do is take the vertex, I'm going to target weld, boom. Oh, it doesn't want me to target weld. Why not? This is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. Let's go back to the edge, move that down a little bit, see what's going on. Perhaps I was looking at the wrong vertex, I don't know. Let's try that again. 1. Target weld. Here to here. Yes. Okay, now, that one's a little bit off. I'm going to make that straight edge. The position of this on the z-axis is -5.416. Copy. Grab this one. I'm going to right click my mover. And boom. -5.416. Boom. Here we go. Good. Alright. Now we have to close this gap. And we only need to close some of it. Now, there's a slight problem. There's a slight problem with this gap, but I can fix it. You can see there's a triangle that resulting here. In fact, it looks like there's more than one thing going on here. Let me just grab the polys and see. There's a poly on top of a poly. Something screwed up. I'm gonna have to delete stuff to see what's going on. There are polys on top of polys on top of polys. I don't know how that happened. Did that fix it? Yeah, this Wi-Fi disconnection is a problem, but we'll see. Alright, so all I have to do now is take these edges. Well, we'll start with this one. Let's bring this out. and target weld. Boom, boom. And then again, we'll make this the same side, the same position on the x-axis. That should be just 0. Just no, it's not going to be 0. You're wrong. It's on the x-axis. Is here. I'm going to line this up on the x-axis here. Good. Now, good. Alright, so now we need to bring this edge out and target weld all around. Oh, looks like I missed one. No? Yeah, there's something really funky going on down here. Really funky. I don't know how or why, but it's a funky thing. This poly there's an extra poly there that shouldn't be there. I think that's all it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this edge where it needs to be. Actually, let's make sure everything gets connected properly. So, well, let's see. The edge, the X should still be the same, right? Whoa, cancel. X. Is that the same as... No, it should be a negative 7.816. No, that's not right. Okay, now this one, according to this, it's the same. Alright, whatever. You do you, boo. I'll target weld these together, kind of clean this up. And there's a gap I need to fix here. I'll go ahead and fix that. See, this is clearly not the same position, and I don't know why it thinks it's the same position. Unless there's, you know, a hidden poly or vertex or something. Because if we're looking at the vertexes, the vertex should be x negative 78.16. This one is not at that position, and this one is not, but it thought the whole edge was. Doesn't matter. I need edged faces, please. Yeah, perhaps there's some optical illusions going on here. Anyway, I've messed around with this too long. Let's go ahead and get this edge out and close this gap here. And target weld these together here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Unhide all text. Right. Alright, we're starting to look like we've got something going on here. Now, a couple things I need to do. I think it's time to close this half section off. So, we're going to grab this, bring this up to here. Are we going to make this a... Whoa. Let's see. I'm okay with this being a triangle, why not? So, all we got to do then is target weld. Boom. Boom. And then we're going to take this polygon. Ooh, that's not right. So we'll take this edge instead. Whoa! No. I'm going to take this edge, bring her down, and then I'm going to target weld the hell out of this. Boom. Boom, and then boom. Go. No. Target weld this vertex to that vertex. It may look a little funky. That just means I need to bring this vertex over here in the center up according to this to match it on the z-axis. Negative 5.416. Negative 5.416. Boom! Alright. Now, all I gotta do is close this gap. 2. Then I'm going to target weld this edge down to there. Boom. I got it. 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 Alright. Alright, this is going to close up. This is going to close up nicely. Okay, now let's look at everything and see what our situation is here. I won't, because there's one thing I feel that I must do, and that is to bring this section in, because I think, well, oh, actually I'll tell you exactly how this is supposed to be by the left view. You can see here that this doesn't line up. So we'll take this. Let me see edge to faces, please. I'm going to take this mug right here. Let's do it this way. I need to see what I'm looking at. You know what I think I'm going to do? Obviously the saucer section of this is much deeper than the saucer section of mine. So I'm going to have to perhaps extend that down and make it much more bulbous. But first let's address this problem. Because here we obviously need to bring all of this back. Let's go to 1. Let's have a look at the vertexes. I need to bring this back so that it's not interfering with the impulse drive. I feel it needs to be a little more clear from the impulse drive. To do that, it seems to be your problem. No, give me a vertex, please. Give me all the vertexes. Why are you doing this to me? I don't know. I think it's stuck on something. You can't always expect everything to go correctly. Let's go from the top. Yeah, something is stuck. Let me do a save before I forget. Alright. Clearly something is very, very stuck and wrong. I may have to restart the app because it's not allowing me to do what I need to do here. It is stuck. I just need to select this. That's all I need to do. Come on. No. Something's. What's this little lock symbol here? What is that? Selection lock toggle. Spacebar. No, I don't want that. I'm glad I fixed that. Okay. Alright. Let's bring this here for now. And let's unhide all and make sure that that is clear. Jesus, just unhide all. Alright. And let's see if that is clear of the impulse drive, and it appears to be. We'll come back just a little bit more just to be sure. I think I've got some leeway. Alright. Okay, now we have the challenge of working on this saucer section, and it's not going to be easy. So to do that, I think the best option, well first, yeah, this is a higher poly model here, so there's a lot to manipulate. I mean, I could just grab, I don't know, how to do it is going to take some finagling, but first I'm going to need to, I'll delete that because it's useless, but this here, there's a little ring here, which is part of the saucer. Well, it's not. Okay, it's a separate ring. So we'll bring this ring down as a point of reference. Okay, now the challenge begins. I think perhaps I can just take all the vertices from here and here, scale it up, scale it down rather, or scale it so that it matches where I need to go, and then perhaps I'll not only need to scale it, but I'll need to move it, and then perhaps that'll give me what I need to do. Alright, so we're going to scale along the Y up and then move it down. Let's see how funky this looks. I think we're all right. I think we're okay. And it also means that I can take this section in the back, take this section, back hull, come over here to this hull in the back section and take all these vertices here and move them straight down to more or less match the schematic. And then also we can take these ones move them forward a bit. And we now have what we want. We have the basics of the design of the shape. Obviously there are some things I need to do with the mesh smoothing. I think probably also I want to get rid of that texture, get something else on there so that I can see how my meshes are looking a little bit easier. But at this point we've come far. We've got the basic shape going and it looks good. So at this juncture I'm going to save. I think we're going to wrap things up. The Derf is ready for further work. Now, let me open up the T1 and make sure I didn't fuck that up. Oh, good. Okay, good. Alright, I'm going to stop the stream.